I think that for Walt Disney, no person was more important to the success of his company, with the possible exception of Roy Disney, than Iwerks.
He animated Mickey. He is the guy, really, and even Walt, I think, finally sort of started admitting that towards the end, that without Ub, there wouldn't have been a Mickey.
What would normally take months to accomplish, Ub did in just 2 weeks. His tireless hand would break the animation speed barrier, a record 700 drawings a day. Iwerks would single-handedly animate the first Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Industrial Light and Magic was formed in 1975 to realize the complicated special effects challenges for a new film called Star Wars, a space adventure dreamed up by a young filmmaker, George Lucas.
I think the success of Star Wars opened the doors for a whole series of genres of film that hadn't been done before because people simply couldn't figure out how to make the images.
ILM's team of visual effects wizards continue to push the envelope. From their humble beginnings in a Van Nuys warehouse to a state-of-the-art facility, they've single-handedly transformed the photochemical days of old into a new digital era, changing the industry one film at a time.
For over 60 years, the Guatemala City garbage dump has been the home and workplace for thousands of families who have made their living recycling the city's trash.
They are people that have been, for a long time, mistreated by society.
Lo que empezó con una quema de basura normal se salió de control, pero la misma descomposición de la basura provocaba explosiones y el humo impedía la labor, ya que el humo impide la visualización.
Despite the controversies, the methane fire resulted in major reforms, including a commitment by the municipality to protect the children in the landfill.
This marriage of art and science was the dream of 3 men: a creative scientist, Ed Catmull, a visionary entrepreneur, Steve Jobs, and a talented artist, John Lasseter.
When I was in high school, I found this book, this old ratty book, called The Art of Animation. And it was about the Disney studios and how they made animated films. And it was one of those things that just dawned on me. People make cartoons for a living. They actually get paid to make cartoons. I thought, that's what I want to do.
John inspired the technical team to create new software that would enable him to animate the squash and stretch movements he learned from traditional animation. The results were new flexibility, motion blur, and character action never before achieved through the computer.
I met Ed, and he shared with me his dream to make the world's first computer-animated film. And I, in the end, ended up buying into that dream, both spiritually and financially.
Steve Jobs took a chance and invested $10 million to launch Pixar.
Pixar is seen by a lot of folks as an overnight success, but if you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time.
You know, as soon as the development started occurring in the Fort Brooke area, in the Oil Sands area, it was more of a concern to us because we see the changes in our food supplies, you know, and how they tasted.
In 2002, 2003, I saw my first case of a bile duct cancer that I was familiar with. The cancer is called cholangiocarcinoma.
This greatly disturbed John, and he thought, this is not right, there's something wrong. He started to do what a good community doctor does, is he advocates for the people that he treats. And so he started to ask both federal and provincial scientists, why am I seeing the things that I'm seeing? As a result of asking those questions, John got hammered. And John got hammered by both the federal government and the provincial government.
Take a lesson from what's happening in Fort Chip, and realizing that the price of this absolute unabated development that's going on, not just in the tar sands but all over the world, is perhaps getting to be too big a price to pay.
just had full bore from Maliko. Yang, yang, yang. Just full bore from nonstop.
Yeah. Coming in, holding on the roof.
Woo. Woo.
I wish we didn't run out of gas, or else I'd still be there.
Every now and then, on one of those special days like November 26th, you'll have a moment that it literally slows time down. It's almost an out-of-body experience, that moment of nirvana where you're actually part of everything that you're doing. And for me, when I experience those moments, that's the draw for me. That's what brings me back. That's what makes me want to go out and ride those big waves. It's like time stopping.
Home to the largest underground aquifer in the country, the Ogallala provides drinking water to 2 million people. The Sandhills, which lie atop the Ogallala, is also the largest wetland region in the United States.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we're holding a hearing on legislation to short-circuit an ongoing decision-making process and pressure the Department of State into approving a massive new oil pipeline called Keystone XL, which would carry a sludge made from tar sands through the middle of America.
We have been stewards of the land. That's our job, you know, and when I think what we have accomplished and how in a matter of a few months, a foreign company can come in here and for 110 feet completely decimate this area, I'm just speechless.
William Randolph Hearst, a daring dreamer, controversial leader, and champion of the people.
He wanted to make a difference. He thought journalism was important, journalism could make a difference, and he was determined to have it make a difference.
In Harper's Bazaar, we have the first ever fashion magazine. This is way before Vogue, way before any of the other titles. Harper's Bazaar was writing about fashion. And Cosmopolitan, even though it kind of radically changed in the 1960s, Cosmo has been a successful and strong franchise for well over 100 years.
I think my grandfather enjoyed life. He saw work a little bit like play. It was meant to be exciting. You were meant to meet and work with and try to draw close to you other interesting people. There was a lot of fun in his life.